Here's a quick shot of the new stay sail up here on a close reach. Setting quite nicely. Used it a fair amount ever since we put it on the boat. And right now I got all plain sail set, the Yankee, the stay sail, and the full main. And we're popping along 4 to 6 knots depending, as the wind strength is up and down a little bit. So thank you, UK and the Sailmaker. Okay, folks, for those of you with interest, here's another short video of the wind vane working. It's taken me a while to work out all the new linkages and stuff because I changed the auxiliary rudder, but you can see the blade is just wiggling back and forth there a little tiny bit. Boat's pretty course stable right now because we're close to reaching on a port tack. About 12 knots of wind. And you can see the two control lines. You know, they pull in one direction or the other depending on which way the blade swings. And this was kind of the trick, is to work all this out, because the head of the auxiliary rudder is much further forward. So in order to get all this to work without those lines binding up, I cut some off the end of that 2-inch PVC pipe where it sticks down. I added this cross brace with my block for turning the control lines. Like I said, it took a while to work all this stuff out. And because everything, since I put the auxiliary rudder on, since Kalihi, a lot of our sailing has been in really boisterous conditions. And trying to get this stuff figured out and get back here and work on it when the boat's heeling and rolling and bouncing and bobbing and the wind's blowing 20 or 30 knots, not too easy. But today I once again got on it, got all the things worked out to my satisfaction, at least for right now. It seems to be working fine. I put those red bungees down here. Sometimes I hook them on the loops for the safety lines to kind of act as shock absorbers to tamp down the motion of the auxiliary rudder when I'm under power, especially in a following sea, because it tends to wander around all over the place. But this good old linkage for the autopilot, that's remained pretty much the same. Anyway, it's whole setup is working to my satisfaction now. There it is. Most exotic part of the whole thing is probably the ball bearings that are the wind vane shaft is on. All the rest of the stuff you could almost get at a hardware store. Maybe the stainless steel rod you'd have to order online or something. And you don't really need that 20-degree kink and the ball bearings. You could just use a straight piece and drill the holes at a 20-degree angle and just put the shaft on there. The stainless steel shaft will turn on that PVC quite readily if the hole's just a little bit bigger than the shaft diameter, because the wind vane blade is certainly large enough to overcome a minute amount of friction from not having those bearings. Anyway, that's how you build a wind vane for next to nothing. I mean, these days that's certainly maybe $50 in materials, 60, less than 100 for sure. That's it, folks.